On this episode, we're reviewing opening weekend of the 2022 Epcot Festival of the Arts. Today is January 19th, 2022. This is episode 427 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. If you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. And then if you hit that subscribe button, you're going to get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. But if you want even more content, like us live streaming all of Festival of the Arts last weekend, you get other in-park resort live streams, at-home live streams, discounts on Main Street Magic merchandise, and a whole lot more. You can visit wonderlandcrew.com and check out our Patreon group. And if maybe you didn't get everything you wanted over the holidays, either buying it for yourself or from friends and family, you can check out our partner page where you can get a lot of different Disney-related gifts, items, now also including our friends over at Lost Princess Apparel and Pop Culture Jerseys. If you go to msmfriends.com, you can find out more about our partners. Click a link and go ahead and make a purchase.
And oh my gosh, y'all, the Lost Princess Apparel, those leggings, girls, talking to you. They are amazing. They're super cute. They fit amazing and they feel like butter.
They feel like butter.
Oh my goodness. They feel amazing.
You wore them all weekend.
I did.
And they were so perfect too with the way I think the weather was, because I think they're a good in between type pair, right? Yeah. Whether it's not too hot, not too cold, that in between, perfect for it and super comfy, you said.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so in tons and tons of design. So check them out. Again, if you go to msmfriends.com, they actually have a banner right at the top. And then you can also check out the jerseys, the hockey jerseys. I got a Darth Vader one.
Those are super cool.
Again, super soft, kind of light. Long sleeve, perfect, and they've got a lot of designs there, and they're always coming up with something new as well, which is really cool. And then finally, if you're getting ready to plan that next Disney vacation, maybe going to Universal, going on a cruise, or pretty much traveling anywhere else in the world, head to msmears.com and learn more about our wonderful travel partner, Melissa Pilgrim, with Ears of Experience, and fill out a form for a free quote. Festival of the Arts is upon us.
Yay!
Rhonda, what dates does Festival of the Arts run?
It runs from January 14th to February 21st.
Yeah, so generally this is running, this is ran 4 to 5 weeks. It is the shortest of festivals.
It is.
We can discuss where we think it ranks maybe later on amongst the festivals.
Okay.
But we were there opening weekend. It was an absolutely beautiful weekend.
Yes.
I'm glad it's not the weather we've had the past 2 days.
Yes.
Because for us in Florida, it has been very, very cold.
Yeah, I'd be freezing. I did buy a hat. Also.
Yes, you actually did buy a hat because it did dip down at nighttime.
It was very cold.
But you can hear it's got me. The weather changes has me all stuffed up and stuff. So if I sound weird, it's not your ears. It is actually me.
And usually this is the other way around. So
I know you're the one who always has this stuff. Yep. I know. So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit kind of about the festival, some of the things surrounding it, and then we're really going to dive into the food because we had a lot. We went 3 days in a row.
It's 3 days.
Every single day.
Well, and we'll explain, I guess, later why we ended up going 3 days in a row. But it was super awesome and fun.
Yeah, we had an absolute blast. And one of the things that I love so much, I think about Festival of the Arts, Flower and Garden does, they all do a good job, but for me, it's the marketplace booths, it's the artists, it's the actual art. The way I feel like Festival of the Arts to me truly feels like your local market, your local arts market.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Again, they're not selling, food and home baked goods or anything, but when you go to your local market, like the Riverside Market in Jacksonville or St. Augustine has one, it truly feels like these just local artists that have come out to show you their stuff, and there's so much amazing art. We bought, again, more stuff this year. What did we get this year?
Well, this year, so
we still have to frame something from last year, so we got to get on the framing, I think.
Yeah, you do. Well, we can see what we have around the house too, because one thing I got this year, and I'm super excited, and I think we might be redoing our bathroom, which means painting too.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyways, so we got Stitch, and he is got bubbles all around him like he's in a bathtub.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hang that in our bathroom. Our bathroom's super big, so I'm excited about that. And then we got Bucky.
Yes, this was so cool.
This was really cool. We're gonna go ahead and get into that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk.
Heather is the artist who does all this, and she was there.
Right over by Canada, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much right there, bordering Canada and the United Kingdom pavilions.
Yes, under a tent.
Yes.
And we found something that looked like Bucky, but we just needed him a little bit lighter. Actually, she said the cast member was so nice and said the artist is here, Heather. And so then we started talking. I pulled up a picture of Bucky, and she was like, awesome. She goes, give me about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Or half an hour or something. And I was like, we can come back tomorrow. Like, you don't have to. But it actually worked out where literally we ended up walking back soon after that, maybe give or take an hour or so. And yeah, it was done, and she handed it to me, and it is just amazing.
Yeah, he's got a little champagne glass with a strawberry in it because he's fancy.
Mm-hmm.
And she's
wrote
got
his name
what
on
they say,
it?
like over 500. I mean, she does over like 500 different versions of cats or something, I think the cast member said.
Yeah.
And again, there's a ton to pick from.
She does dogs.
Yeah, she can do it right
she does
there.
everything except
what, Rhonda?
snakes, because she's a little afraid of them.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
Jeremy-
my kind of artist. And
Jeremy
it's
was
literally
super
written on a
excited.
card.
Yeah.
It's like on the display case. But again, there's, and here's what's amazing is, first of all, $35 for a print.
Oh yeah, and that's what it costs
good.
too.
This is $35 for actual painting, and that she then customized for us and did not charge a penny more.
Yeah.
And it's already got
super
a beautiful
shocked.
mat
Yep.
on it. I mean, so this is, and same thing with what did the Stitch one run? And that's about
30
11 by 14.
something, I think so.
Yeah, so not too bad. They all come matted.
That's what I love about this. So you can buy these giant paintings that are hundreds of dollars if you have the money, which I do wish I did. Or what you call them, just
the
print
prints.
them out, and
That are a lot cheaper.
it is. And you do get your I started to say cast member, but your AP discount
which
with
is
that,
awesome.
which is really awesome.
And what I like too about the prints sometimes, because as I start to kind of even just look around our office, which we need to like revamp some as well. Everybody loves a nice big, 24 by 36 painting or something. But when you go all the time
sometimes-
and you start to collect more and more, you don't
Right.
have room for them.
Correct.
So I love picking up like a 4x6 or a 5x7 print. They might be $10 or $15.
Yeah.
And then you can have multiple of those as like a larger display
Right.
in your home as opposed to one giant painting.
True.
So
And Kaylin actually picked up a
Yeah.
small, I believe, I think it was like $11 to $15 Tangled that she really liked. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, babe. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. We have a bunch of stuff out there we need to get framed. And again, our office, maybe we'll show it to people before we start organizing it again. But according to Rhonda's
Golly.
face, maybe not, because it's a mess right now.
It is.
Anyway, Figment Scavenger Hunt is back.
Yes.
This now comes with a price of $9.99,
But
but it's a
I
pretty
think-
decent price,
I
right?
just started to say, I think they do so I think the prices obviously go towards because of what the prize is.
100%
So
believe that.
the price is higher, but it's because you get 4 different
A choice of 4.
excuse
Yeah.
me. Yes. Choice of 4. Like you pick one. It's a painting. It's an actual like little figurine.
Mm-hmm.
We got Mickey and Figment. There is Daisy and Minnie, I believe.
I think that was what's left.
And it is so stinking cute. It is an actual like painting, like or little figurine, and that comes with actual paint.
Yeah, it's got its own little paint set and
Yep.
everything with it. And of course, everything they do is artistic. They are there day one We were very, very interested to
And
see
we were very
after
excited.
Yes.
Yes.
After what happened over, the past festival, due to the supply issues and coming from overseas, they did not have them opening of the festival. And so they do this time. So if you were going, don't worry about it. Go ahead and pick yours up, and you have those choice of 4.
And I was just looking, and it doesn't say like where it'll come off on some things, but my sweet, sweet Lacey had a old towel, laid it all out, and she was painting these figurines, and we'll take a picture and Jeremy can post under this episode. So I went in her room the other night, and her brand new desk she got for Christmas, there was some paint on it from.
Well, of course there was.
And I'm like, oh my, and I just almost lost my cool until I actually just took my finger and wet it to see, and it just came off like that. And I was like, oh, thank God.
I mean, they're going to have to make these paints water soluble, basically, because of the fact that, this is really for kids for the most part,
and who knows if you get it and you're in your hotel room and you let your kid paint, depending on the age of that kid.
Yeah.
You can have that everywhere.
Also, of course, back this year, luckily, is the Broadway series, which, are happening most nights. You can do the dining package if you really want to get seating, but it is Disney Broadway stars from all over.
Did you know that it costs extra? All right, you get your dining package.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that then you could forego the tickets.
Oh, I did not know for the Broadway series.
Yes.
I did not know that.
So, from personal experience, the client that was there, I was telling you about it.
Doesn't make any. I know, but that doesn't make any sense. You would just be going to dinner.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
So they had a price on there for the tickets.
Oh, interesting.
And they took it off for him.
Interesting.
They just wanted to go to dinner, and by the time they did, this was all like where she was like, no, I don't think I want to stay, because it was
they're saving money potentially on the dinner, because they are still forced to pick an appetizer, an entree, and dessert. But if they do it wisely,
she was
you
at beer
could
garden.
save money. Oh, okay.
So that was still the buffet, correct?
Okay, yeah. So basically, what you're saying is, I want to go see the Broadway series dining. So I want to go see the Broadway series. So I get a dining package. While I'm eating, I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I want to go sit now to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I don't want to be screwed out of money. Can you take off the price of the ticket? And then all I've done is eaten a meal.
Correct.
Okay.
That is pretty much what she told me, which I had no idea. So I was like, huh. And I didn't mean to spring this on air.
No, that's good to know. And my guess is I'm not seeing that publicized anywhere, but that is a good thing to note for the future. It certainly is worth asking. Because I could totally see that, honestly. All of a sudden, maybe you realize, hey, we had a really long day. Again, plans change all the time.
Correct.
And so maybe somebody's thinking, well, we had a little bit of a later meal, or we're just so full, or all of a sudden the kids are cranky. It really stinks that we're going to waste a lot of extra money because we thought we were going to see this Broadway series concert. So that's really, really good to know. But yeah, check all that out. Regal Eagle is doing their package, which is $34.99. So it is definitely on the cheaper end if you're looking to do something like that. You can pretty much walk up and do that. I'm hoping that they're going to do it for the Garden Rock series, just so we can have a more affordable option, because we are planning to go see Blue October there, of course.
And then you get your seat.
Yes. So I want to apologize to everyone for being a liar, because now, to be fair, this is what I was told by a cast member. When we last went for the International Festival of the Holidays, I asked if they were doing any wristlets for it. The cast member said, no, they are doing away with wristlets. Now, that was technically true for that festival. And they're really pushing the online gift cards, the mobile.
Right.
Wristlets are back. And it is adorable Festival of the Art wristlet. So we loaded that thing up with money. We used it all weekend. You can use it, pretty much anywhere on Disney property. We're able to use it. Yeah,
correct?
Merchandise, food, sit down restaurants. We got a ton of use out of it. We used it at Citricos. And what we are going to focus on this episode, of course, is the actual festival. Next episode, we're going to focus on some of the dining, some of the additional things, where we stayed, and all of that. So, all right. Is that enough about things that aren't food?
Yeah, because everybody wants to hear the
I know, they do. And I'll just say right off the bat, I think Festival of the Arts is my favorite.
Really?
almost all around.
I thought it was Flower and Garden.
No.
Oh.
It used to be for me, it was Food and Wine, Flower and Garden, Festival of the Arts, International Festival.
Okay.
I think Festival of the Arts, honestly, for me, has taken over all around, mostly because the food is absolutely top notch. And as good as the other festivals are, I think Festival of the Arts blows it away. I love the atmosphere a lot more. I love, in a sense, the season, because we're not going in July and August, like,
True.
September, October, like Food and Wine. So it's
True.
just so enjoyable. The only thing I miss here, and I would love to actually, see one of the Broadway concert series here.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the bands, like we
Yeah.
get at Garden Rocks and the Food and Wine Festival and all, Eat to the Beat. So that's the only thing I kind of wish was different, but they're still providing some wonderful live entertainment with all these Broadway artists.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just think that this festival is incredible. Where does it rank now for you overall before we get into the food? Or where does it rank just for food? I mean, do you think it's serving the best food out of any of the festivals?
I don't know, because I really thought I loved Flower and Garden. I don't know now. You'll have to ask me again
After we go to
we
Flower
go
and
in
Garden?
Flower and Garden.
Okay, that's fair. Well, let's get into it, and these are going to be in alphabetical order.
Okay.
We did hit a large portion of the booths. We did not hit every single one.
Okay.
Where there's opportunities, and we will be back in a month, and we can certainly
Yes.
update some.
Yes.
Where there are opportunities for us to give you our experience in past festivals, we certainly can do that as well, just so you get a full idea of kind of all the booths. But we're going to start at the artist table, and we're going to go with the Beef Wellington, which has like a mushroom sauce, prosciutto, and a puff pastry with red wine, demi-glaze, and baby vegetables for $8.50. Also, in the past, we have done the pan-seared scallops, or I have, with vanilla
Yes, you
butternut squash puree, brown butter cauliflower puree, and a lime foam. And then we went ahead and got the pistachio cake with cherry mousse and morello cherries. And that was $4.75. The scallops were $7. Give your thoughts, Rhonda, on the Beef Wellington and the pistachio cake.
So the Beef Wellington was amazing, as I think you would think. So that was super exciting that it was really, really good. Lucy, she has tried to make it before. I shouldn't say try. She's made it before. I think she said it turned out actually really good.
Yeah, not an easy task.
No, I wouldn't think so. But she was explaining that the way you really make it is there's prosciutto in it, which there is here.
I never knew that, to be honest.
I didn't either. There's the mushroom stuff, and everything. It was neat to hear everything that she said. And Gordon Ramsay actually retweeted her or said something like, good job. Anyways, the point is it was what Beef Wellington is supposed to be. And that was exciting for me, according to it's made.
Yeah.
Yes. I know you're looking at me. I know what you're going to say. I thought the beef was, what's the right word to explain, to paint a picture?
Pot roasty.
Okay, you can say that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was tender enough
Very.
that I liked it. So if you're going to use that word, that's fine. I didn't think it tasted like that.
Okay.
I just think it was tender like that, in my opinion.
Yeah. I thought this was absolutely delicious. I loved it. I don't have anything wrong with the flavors, nothing. Just
Right.
again, I'm just going to go from the perspective of a true Beef Wellington. To me, this had more of a center flavor and cook of a pot roast, which still tasted delicious.
Yes.
And I don't have a problem with them calling this Beef Wellington. I think anybody you're not thinking you're going to go to a food festival booth and get a true Beef Wellington. First of all, it would have an astronomical cost to it because it's two good pieces. And normally you would use like a filet mignon. Normally it would have to be cooked. You'd want it cooked to like a medium rare. They're not going to do that here, obviously. So yes, in the true sense of a Beef Wellington, that part was slightly different, but everything was delicious. Everything was tender. The girls loved it.
The girls loved it. We actually had to get two.
We did. Lacey wanted to go back and like pretty much get her own.
Yep.
So, and then, my new, oh no, that wasn't in this one. What was I thinking of? Oh, I'll get back later to parsnips. This did have that one little piece of parsnip instead of potato with it.
Oh.
Which was just kind of slightly tender, but we'll talk later when we run into some parsnip purees, which I think are absolutely outstanding.
Oh, absolutely.
The pistachio cake,
I loved that.
I liked it. I didn't love the Morello cherries, and maybe I don't like
I liked both
Morello
of them.
cherries.
I liked everything. I think I liked it a lot because I like everything. I love the pistachio cake. It was not overly pistachio-y.
Yeah,
Which,
that's true.
I personally love all that kind of stuff, so I was a tiny bit sad, but then it was perfect for somebody that might not love pistachio.
Yeah, or doesn't know if
Right.
maybe has never had them at all.
Right.
And talk about, and we're going to do later, we're going to give some prizes out to some dishes, right?
Oh,
But-
I'm like, wait, what?
But I'll just say right now, this is one of those art form pieces. Now, the beef Wellington was pretty. It's very well executed. I like what they're doing here. Not every single thing is served in one of those little brown food boats.
Yeah.
Most things are served on white, kind of hard paper plates,
Yep.
but a lot of them are rectangular. They look a lot fancy, or it's a nice little square. So they look more elegant. Everything, we've said this in the past, and I didn't run into this at all this weekend, especially on opening day. I was super impressed. A lot of times the food takes longer to get to you
Oh,
because they're dressing at the last second with a brush of a sauce or
Right.
tweezers in a microgreen. Everything moved very quickly, and food and everything came up quick this weekend, which I was very impressed opening day. They were ready to roll.
Yeah.
But the dishes are gorgeous. This every single one, even if you're not that person that takes photos of your food like we do all the time, you're going to be like, I got to take a photo of this food, and I got to send it to everyone I know and post it to social because it's gorgeous. The scallops did not have this year. We've had scallops here in the past. I've said it.
Lucy did.
Yeah, Lucy did, and loved them.
Kiyomi did.
Kiyomi did as well.
It was
So
very good.
everybody loves them.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I've said that they do scallops. They do seafood really, really well at these festivals. It's very, very impressive. In the past, Lacey has done the sipping chocolate flight. There's a white, a milk, and a dark chocolate. This is non-alcoholic for $8.50. This is Lacey's dream, and even
It's
she
so
could barely
thick.
get through these because
Yeah.
everything is so thick and so
Yep.
it's. I wish it was more of like a maybe like a vanilla milk, like a you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like
This tastes like
dark chocolate milk, a white chocolate milk maybe, and then a regular milk chocolate milk. This is basically just melted down chocolate in a cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they taste good.
Yeah.
And this is one of those shareable dishes, probably
Oh, yeah. Like with-
pre-COVID, but
Right.
where everybody almost just takes a sip and goes, okay, that's enough for me today.
Yep.
Maybe I'll try another one tomorrow, but I can't put any more chocolate in my body now.
Yep.
So it's kind of one of those things. All of these have lots of wonderful beers. I don't drink beer currently, but lots of times in the past, the beer flights are always good to do. Of course, you can get your either 6 or 12 ounce pours now on most beers, which is wonderful. So
Yeah.
we're not going to really talk too much about beers and wine, but it's not really anything groundbreaking at this
No.
point yet. So.
Nope.
Next, unfortunately, we did not get a chance to try the Craftsman's Courtyard, which is new this year.
Oh man, what
they
was
do
that?
have a country pork pate with pistachios. They have a cast iron roasted PEI mussels, and they have a cast iron seared steelhead trout. To be honest, I mean, we will try this next time. I would probably maybe give the pork pate a try just to try it, but there's nothing on this one personally.
Yeah.
I don't, as well as the festivals and Disney does seafood, I'm just not, I don't want steelhead trout from a festival booth myself.
Yeah.
If there was a mahi
I would try that.
or a
though.
cobia, I'd probably give it a shot.
Yeah.
So we'll see, and we'll make sure that we try something here next time for sure. Next, we pretty much did a clean sweep of Deco Delights as far as food goes.
Oh yeah.
Because we did the Dolce chocolate mousse with a chocolate cremeux and dark chocolate truffle, which is new because this booth is new. Decadent Valrhona chocolate with dark chocolate mousse, chocolate brownie, and a cassis mousse for $5. An orange mousse with lemon cake and raspberry meringues for $4.50, and then that first dish was $5.25. So 3 desserts, very decadent.
Got
Got all 3, ate all 3. What did you think of each one?
So honestly, my orange mousse with the lemon cake and raspberry meringue was my least favorite.
Agreed. And not that it was bad. Everything was very
Right.
good. We have to rank them now.
Right. And honestly, like, okay, so if you're not a chocolate fan, the orange mousse is perfect and so good.
Yeah.
And if you just want something good and like refreshing, because it was. But if you are a chocolate fan like myself, oh my goodness, both of the chocolates were fantastic. Now I'm trying to remember which one I liked better, because I think it was the Dolce chocolate mousse, because it was like a caramel chocolate.
Yeah,
and
that
it
was my favorite too.
So good. Oh, and they were gorgeous too.
Yes, very.
Oh,
Again, so picture worthy, very rich, very decadent.
and we
They're
shared
playing
them.
that part up for sure.
Yeah, so we shared them with the girls and Lucy and Caleb, and it was hysterical because I think everybody liked it / loved it.
Yeah.
Because with that being said, I mean, we got all those, and I felt like we could have gotten more.
Oh, for sure.
Like we were
But at the same time,
running out of it.
But at the same time, if I had just gotten one for myself, for me personally, it would have just been too much. So I think they are very shareable and very, go ahead and get all three. Or again, if you like chocolate, get those two, and go ahead and share these with everyone. Next, we are going to move on to the deconstructed dish, which again, we made a clean sweep of. We're going to start with the deconstructed BLT, which is a crispy pork belly, soft poached egg, brioche, watercress, espuma, and tomato jam for $7. Next, you've got the deconstructed French onion soup, which is a beef broth ravioli. Yes, that is what I said. A Gruyere espuma, onion bread pudding in onion textures. This is new this year for $6.50. And then finally, deconstructed key lime pie, which is flexible key lime curd, key lime mousse in air quotes, graham cracker cake, and meringues. I forgot to mention earlier, there is a wonderful walk of colorful cuisine, and it's just like in the past, like the cookie strolls and all those.
Yep.
You punch your 5 or any combination of the 5 dishes included, and you're going to get a keepsake Festival of the Arts frosted cookie that looks like a little artist palette. That was very, very cool.
Keepsake, you
and
eat
delicious.
That.
Well, I know, but I feel like you could just keep it too in the bag, and eventually it's just going to turn into like rock solid. I'll put it next to my goldfish
It also
crackers.
comes with a little oh my gosh, smoothie.
Yeah, that's right.
And
that little smoothie
a
in the
cute
little
cup.
collectible kind of hard plastic glass. And that was $4.75. Deconstruct these dishes for us, Rhonda. Or should I say reconstruct these dishes for us?
Yeah,
and tell us
'cause
all
that's
about them.
What we did. I'm not going to say this is the best booth, but to me, this would be number 2.
Okay.
So
Well, let's talk about the BLT, because we had 3 separate BLTs amongst us.
Yeah, and that was crazy. It
We
was
had
really
one,
neat.
Kiyomi had one,
Yep.
and then Lucy and Caleb had one.
Correct. And like, for example, it was like Kiyomi's had a giant egg, and then we had a small pork belly, and then Lucy had like a big piece of the brioche.
That was
bun.
Kiyomi. So here was the problem.
I'm honestly just.
Well, I'll tell you right now, all 3 porks were different. All 3 eggs were cooked differently, and all 3 breads were different in size.
I'm just trying to get across.
Okay.
I'm not trying to say who had what.
No, that's fine. I was just trying to make it much clearer.
Yeah.
But I think that was the issue. Whereas, like, our pork belly was perfect.
Yeah.
Our egg, of course, it's a poached egg. It's a soft poached egg. The yolk was perfect because it was nice and runny. But then the egg whites were almost not cooked.
That was a little nerve-wracking.
Kiyomi's, if I remember correctly, like pork belly was overcooked and a little more chewy. And then let's just say Lucy and Caleb's had more fat on it.
Yeah.
Her piece of brioche was like 3 times the size of everyone else's. Kiyomi's egg, again, was larger, but the yolk was cooked more. So
yeah, it was very
this has been one of my favorite dishes every single year, and I still loved it this year. It was just that one was the only time I was disappointed to see on a presentation level 3 very differing dishes.
Well, but I mean,
that all came out at the exact same time. It'd be one thing if we got one day 1, day 2, day 3, and they were all varying, and there were different people cooking or whatever. They were very
but you got to think about, in my opinion, like the brioche. I mean, all these things are being cut too.
Yeah.
So maybe you do have different people cutting and different, and it just well, oops, this one's bigger, you know. I mean, it's still, I mean, it wasn't bad at all.
No. I still loved it. Yeah. I just thought it was because like our egg, even for somebody that likes poached eggs, I think could have been off-putting.
Oh, it was
to
for
many
me.
people. It was to you.
100%.
I mean, I ate it and I was like, whatever. And I was perfectly fine. But I could see that where somebody goes, I like poached eggs, but I don't like this poached egg.
Right.
You know? And so that part I just thought was a little bit interesting. But I would recommend every year we've had this. We've always loved it. It's one of my favorites. This combination of the tomato jam and the crispy pork belly acting as that bacon, those two are so I love this tomato jam.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the type that actually eats a BLT because I don't want the tomato part.
Right.
I would eat a BL and then maybe, I don't know, put something else on it. But it's just the tomato part's not really for me. And I love this tomato jam so much.
Now, would you eat a BLTJ, which it'd be a tomato jam instead of...
Oh, I bet I totally would. I would actually love to try that sometime. Get some good, brioche bread, and make that one even with pork belly as opposed to bacon. I mean, this really is a PLT.
Yeah.
Or PBLT. Anyways, let's move on to the deconstructed French onion soup, which, in my opinion, whoever came up with this...
It was amazing.
Whoever decided to make a beef broth ravioli and deconstruct a soup is the smartest man alive. Or woman alive.
Yeah.
This was so good.
Yeah, it was crazy looking. Like, it wasn't off-putting, but it was just funny looking because you literally had like this ravioli that if you shook it around, it wiggled because
it was filled with liquid. They filled a ravioli with liquid soup.
They did. I'm gonna assume it was like a little frozen cube.
Yeah, it's probably a frozen little puck.
Yep.
And then they go ahead and put it in the ravioli. They quickly boil it off just enough. Even, I mean, who knows? Even the pasta might be a little bit pre-cooked and it's just enough to melt the cube inside without like bursting open or
And
whatever.
that's what was cool too, because the ravioli wasn't too cooked, too done.
No, it was al dente.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And and so basically you went and you took your fork and you basically popped this ravioli and all of the beef broth flowed out. It combined with your additional little onion bread pudding and your textures and your Gruyere cheese. And then you basically got an extremely delicious French onion soup with an added kick of some perfectly al dente pasta.
Yeah. And it was fantastic. We love French onion soup, and this was fantastic. So
what a cool take. I want to get it again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I will.
This is, yeah.
I hate to say it like this. I really kind of hope when we do go back in February it's still cool.
Yes,
a lot of times around Valentine's Day it can be
cold.
No,
or it can be warm.
Be cold.
Yeah,
well, it can be warm. So we'll see, but I hope so.
The deconstructed key lime pie. I don't really want to eat key lime pie any other way than this again. Just based on the way that it looks. Like, you'll stare at this dish for minutes before you decide to ruin this beautiful piece of artwork.
Yeah, I agree.
think.
And it's so funny because when you read it, and Jeremy was reading it and said flexible key lime curd.
That's what it is.
Sounds disgusting.
I know.
But it is beautiful. And it was so funny because not only did we all love it, but we actually had Kaylin take a taste and she herself liked it, which again, I think her palate's changing, but she's very plain and she took a bite of everything and it was just, it was fantastic. Fantastic.
I love it. I think just, each flavor individually is actually really good. And of course you combine it all. It's a wonderful, wonderful key lime pie. Deconstructed has been this whole thing. It's this very hipster thing, but don't just think of it again. Don't think of it of going a deconstructed BLT. Oh, look, there's a piece of bacon, there's a piece of bread, a piece of lettuce, and a piece of tomato. You're just having me make my own sandwich. That's not what these are. They're so inventive, and they're such wonderful takes on classics that we all know. A BLT, a key lime pie, and a French onion soup. Very classic. You can get these at a lot of places. But when you put these flavors together, you're not just thinking, yeah, that's your standard BLT, or that's your standard key lime pie. They've gone above and beyond to make this something truly special from an actual art form that you can then eat.
Yeah.
And yes, you got to reconstruct it a little bit, but we always like to take almost each individual flavor if we can separate,
right,
and then put them together.
Because I was just going to say, you can reconstruct it if you want.
Oh, sure.
Like, we didn't, and we did.
Yeah, we did a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So, but each individual piece also stands on its own.
Correct.
Which I love very much.
Correct.
All right, next, new this year is the donut box. We did not get a chance to stop by here, but they do have a vanilla donut with strawberry sugar and ice cream, fresh strawberries. They have an inside-out donut, which is a vanilla donut with Bavarian cream. And then they have a chocolate dip donut with black and gold sugar sprinkles and chocolate buttercream. That sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't, this is, usually up front of park near Test Track. We really just didn't make it over there.
Yeah.
But we will certainly try this in the future next month. The donut box has started to show up at all the other festivals. I mean, that's where we had that spicy chicken glazed donut sandwich that was amazing.
Was crazy, but good.
They've done a really good job. Again, for that, I like donuts, but I'm not like, donuts, yes, I have to get donuts all the time.
Oh, right.
Like, people used to bring donuts to work. I never ate one.
Right.
I probably eat 1 or 2 donuts a year, if that.
Right.
But I actually really enjoy them, and especially when they're doing them like this place.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we talked about Voodoo Donuts, where, I thought, all right, we'll go to Voodoo Donuts. I'm sure this is all just a front for not really good donuts because it's just cool to go to, and their donuts, I think, are amazing.
I do too.
So I love when places actually live up to that hype. All right, next is El Artista Hambriento over in Mexico. That means the hungry artist. They do have a Horacha Verde, which is a cilantro Horacha with conchita pibil. My apologies. Fresh pineapple and pickled onion. That is new this year, but we did not get that because there's another new dish, the carne asada. It's a seared beef tenderloin, grilled queso fresco, refried beans, scallion, and ranchero salsa. Again, this is new this year for $9.50. One of the more expensive dishes, but you are getting steak.
Correct.
And then finally, we went ahead and got the taco de chocolate candy shell filled with Mexican chocolate mousse with a touch of chili, topped with seasonal fruit. That is gluten and wheat friendly, and that is for $6.50. What do you think, Ron? Let's start with the carne asada. Do you remember this?
Barely, and that's where I'm like,
yeah.
I almost wish you had pictures right next to it. And
I almost put them next to it, but then I
should've.
figured we would remember most of them. So this, I'll just kind of paint the picture for it. For me, this is the one that I thought should be a full meal in a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
Based on the flavor. So what we got is we got 2, probably medium to slightly medium well pieces of steak, cooked very well, very, very tender. We got some wonderful black beans. We got a little, probably 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch grilled piece of queso fresco. Nice brown on both sides.
Did I taste it?
You were standing right there.
Because I remember
you were live streaming it. So I don't know how much flavors you got.
Because I remember eating the chocolate.
Well, it
taco.
it had a long scallion that was actually tied in a knot and then like grilled, and then had this ranchero salsa.
Okay.
So this was one for me. Individually, everything tasted well. Okay, so individually, everything tasted good. As you put pieces together, it was almost like a deconstructed taco. Like, I wish I had a tortilla to stuff this in.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed it. To me, this seems like something you would actually go to a nice, like Maya Grill. I could see going to Maya Grill and you get this, and it's a whole like 6 to 8 ounce steak. It's, a portion of the black beans, a nice big griddled piece of queso fresco, which of course I love because it's pretty much just a thing of burnt cheese.
Yes, you do. Maybe that's why I don't feel like I actually
maybe you didn't.
had it.
You have to go back and watch the live stream, I guess.
Know.
I really enjoyed it.
Good.
But I would love a tortilla with it, and I would just make my own taco. But by itself, it's also delicious. And the steak was wonderful. Everything seasoned, very, very good. Salsa was a nice little kind of just added bonus to it to go with the steak, which, not that the steak was dry, but for me, unless you're getting a medium rare filet or a medium rare really good cut, sometimes I like a little something on my steak.
Okay.
Like, you always see things out on social and they'll go, for your steak, what sauce do you like on your steak? And people are always like,
enough,
none.
nothing.
Like, if it's good enough, none. But anytime we make flank steak, which I cook to a medium rare and it's tender, we always make a chimichurri or pineapple and mango salsa just because of the cut of the meat and the kind of all that and the thickness. It works well. So I was very happy that this had the salsa with it.
Good.
But what I do know you tried was the chocolate taco.
I know. I do. And I remember this. It was super cute, first of all.
Really was.
I loved it.
Little baby taco.
It's so cute. It is. Little baby.
But it needed to be that size. If it had been like the size of a regular taco, the portions
It would
from
have been
mousse
too
to
much, yeah.
shell would have been way off.
Yes. I thought this was perfect. The only thing I think we were a little missing was the touch of chili.
Mhm.
So the chocolate mousse and the chocolate candy, I like a slightly spicy when you get something like from here. I like that little bit of hint where you're like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
This was fantastic, don't get me wrong. But if
It
it
just
did
didn't have that, that's all.
it was very mild, very
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
really couldn't taste it. Even Lucy said the same thing. But other than that, I would absolutely get this again.
Mhm.
Like some people don't like the spice of the chili.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah.
might be like, ooh, then perfect.
And now they want to try
this.
it.
Right.
For sure.
And if you do get it and it happens to be a little more spicier, I do apologize. This was
This was our experience.
yes, this was ours. And we're gonna get to something soon that I will talk about that I did have 2 different experiences with.
Okay.
So with that being said, again, I would get it again. Loved it.
Yeah, my only other downfall is that I had to share it with you guys. Like,
Really? You're
I thought-
not like
I
a
thought it was-
chocolate
no,
person.
and I'm not. I didn't think it was overly sweet. I
It's
didn't think
so
it was
good.
overly decadent. The size of it is perfect, but I think it is this one. Actually, I think the size of it is perfect for one.
Yeah.
And the balance of the fresh fruit, I could have eaten this whole thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So something to think about. We had several people sharing it, which is
Yeah.
perfectly fine. But yes, this is a smaller dish that you probably want to go ahead and get one for yourself, potentially. All right, next we're going to move over to Japan and goshiki. And we're going to go with the chicken kushiyage, which is breaded and fried chicken with yum yum sauce and vegetables. This is new this year for $8.50. Also, we got the, as always, sushi donut-shaped sushi featuring salmon, tuna, shrimp, cucumber, and sesame seed over a decorated plate of wasabi aioli, sriracha, and eel sauce for $8.50. And then in true Jeremy fashion,
Yep.
3 years running, I had to get my sake in a traditional personalized wooden cup for $13. And on this one, I had them right in Japanese, Main Street Magic, which was confirmed by Kiyomi.
Yes.
As soon as I sent her the photo, I said, "What does this say?" And she responded with exclamations, "Main Street Magic." And I was like, yes.
Yay.
So that was cool. But chicken kushiyage, what did you think of this? Rachel got one as well.
Oh, it was so
and
good.
I think she had very similar thoughts to ours. Very delicious.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, mind you, I hadn't had some fried chicken in a
That's
while,
true.
I feel like, but I felt like it was perfectly breaded, perfectly fried. That yum yum sauce, not too much, perfect. It balanced out everything. Again, this is so artful too.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
so cool that they're doing it right.
They are. Yeah, yum yum sauce is wonderful with it. Again, you're kind of combining these yourself because everything is separated for the artful balance. So you have to kind of dip the chicken some in the sauce. But this is one of those two. I only wish there was more
Yes,
because it was that good.
I agree.
So if it was perfect for us because we were hitting so many booths and eating so much food
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the smaller dishes lent well.
Yeah.
But if you thought you were only going to hit 3 or 4 booths, maybe, I could see this being a dish that you want to get one yourself. Because it was 3 pieces of smaller chicken, almost, half maybe even like a third of the size of a normal Disney chicken tender. So it probably added up to one full-size tender. But like you said, perfectly fried, very light though. I loved this. And then the sushi donut, just like the sushi tree, year after year.
Yep.
This is some of my favorite sushi.
And I
rice
will
anywhere.
say, I do like when it is cooler out like it was, because you don't get too afraid to eat
I
it.
know.
And this sushi not only looked, smelled, and tasted fantastic. Everything was great. We shared it with Lucy, and of course, Lucy loved it too. So
I think this is a must get if you like sushi.
Yeah.
And it's neat because you get to try several different types, so many different types of fish and veggies and all. And again, I love my hot sake. So,
Good.
all right, next we're going to move to Canada. Oh, Canada. And gourmet landscapes.
Yes.
We're going to go with the blood orange braised beet carpaccio with a mustard vinaigrette, pickled clamshell mushrooms, golden beets, and a crostini. This is part of the wonderful walk of colorful cuisine.
It's
Sorry.
a mouthful.
This is completely plant-based. This is new for $5.50, and I think includes 4 out of 5 items that I don't really care for. Next, we're going to move, which Rhonda ate, and I can't wait for her to share her thoughts.
Yeah.
The roasted bone marrow with onion marmalade, pickled mushrooms, mache lettuce, and bone marrow snow. This is new this year, $10.50. And then a wild mushroom risotto, aged Parmesan, truffle shavings, and Zinfandel reduction for $9.25. I'll just kick off real quick with the beets. I'm not a huge fan of beets. I don't like mustard at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tend to like mushrooms, even though there are some that I'm starting to enjoy some. Again, it's got more beets in it because they're golden beets as well.
Mm-hmm.
I do like crostini. So I got a bite with some of just the blood orange braised beets, and I got none with the vinaigrette, and I kind of had everything else, and it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But for example, this was one of Lucy's absolute favorite dishes,
And
they love beets.
Yes, and I'm not gonna lie. My mommy loves them so much. Yeah. She used to eat them all the time. I don't know if she still does. I need to ask her. But, they always just did not appeal to me, so I never did. But I did eat this, and I was very impressed. I thought it was very good. Of course, I ate it with everything because I like everything that's on there. I really thought it was a great taste. It wasn't too earthy, whereas a lot of people think, oh, okay, that's all came from the ground. It's all going to be, but it's not. It was so good. I agree. I would have gotten this again, although Lucy did the second day, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and jump to the risotto.
Yeah.
I love a risotto. A wild mushroom risotto, aged Parmesan. Oh my goodness. Truffle shavings. Oh, so good.
Yeah, nice rich Zinfandel reduction.
Good. So we get it the first day. And unfortunately, some of the risotto was, I guess, crunchy would be the right word. It was
undercooked.
Completely cooked right.
And when you say some, you are correct, because some of it was cooked very well, but then there was some in there that was undercooked.
Right. It was weird. You'd take a bite, and like some of it in your mouth was fine, but some of it wasn't. And it wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And we were just a little bummed. But since we were there for 3 days, I went, and when she was getting her beets again, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try the wild mushroom again, because at this point, I mean, they're cooking the risotto. They're making risotto 10 times, probably, batches.
Yep.
So I was like, you know what? Maybe it was just one that wasn't whatever. So I got it again, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Everything, every bite. I let Lucy try it again. You tried it again. It was what I expected and wanted when you read and hear about the wild mushroom risotto. And it was very awesome, and I was very excited. So again, that's where, unfortunately, you can have your, good and bad experiences. So
for sure. And we could tell day one that even though there was some of it that was either undercooked or overcooked. Lucy made a good point where it could have been there at the bottom of a batch.
Yes.
Which actually could have been overcooked and giving you a little bit of that crunchy, when you burn something on the bottom. And it's like they added a new batch to it and stirred it up, which gave us a little bit of both. But I can even say day one, I could have eaten the whole bowl, even with that, because I thought the flavors were just out of this world. They were absolutely incredible. Going back to the beet dish, even though that's not my thing, I thought this was a good sized dish. It had a lot going on. It was beautiful. It was elegant. I feel like at $5.50 out here, I feel like you could walk into Le Cellier and this could be on their appetizer menu, almost the exact same dish for like 16, 17, 18 bucks. Like, it wouldn't shock me. Maybe it'd be a little bit larger or something. It'd probably be served on like a wooden board or something. But I'm not kidding. I was really impressed with everything about it, except I just don't like those things. So you ate bone marrow.
I did.
And this was a big bone.
Oh, it was. So this is, to me, very weird and interesting.
So how do you compare that? Because you did try this.
Yeah.
but you won't try escargot,
Ew.
which I can understand. Both of those are varying levels of people going, you want me to eat what now? So what made you try this? Is because everybody wanted you to?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. And you've tried it before and you really liked it. And
Yeah, I'll get to that part.
oh, well, I thought you did. Anyways, I don't think I thought it was going to be literally in a flippin' bone. Like, I mean, you had a bone.
This was huge.
And then literally in the center of the bone was
all the marrow and fat
stuff
and
that you're supposed to eat.
Yep.
So thank God they had I think some crostinis.
Yeah, there are crostinis with it. You scoop out your marrow, put it on the crostini. There's the onion marmalade that was on top of it.
I put
little
all
bit of
that
a sprinkle
together.
of lettuce and everything. So you want a nice full bite of all the flavors.
Yes, you do. And you do, in my opinion, I'm going to be honest, you want that crostini because the bone marrow stuff inside was a little
gelatinous.
Squishy.
Yeah, it's a little gelatinous. I mean, it's marrow and fat and stuff.
Okay. It was squishy.
Yeah.
And the taste was fine. And if I didn't let my brain think too much, it was completely great and fine.
You went back for more.
I did because it was good.
Yeah.
The taste was, but like I said, it was squishy.
Yeah, it's a little squishy. I guess that's a good description of it, much like pot roasty. So these are all types of new things that we're putting out there. But yeah, the only other time the last time I'd had bone marrow was at Yachtsman Steakhouse.
Oh, okay.
And I was there with my brother, and so he was paying, so I figured, well, I'll go ahead and try something new.
Absolutely.
And I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it. I thought it was interesting. It was much, much smaller than this portion we got. And I thought everything about this portion was done very, very well. The only thing I would change is I think the crostinis were a little bit over toasted.
Okay.
Where I think if you get them a little bit less toasted, they're not as crunchy, they don't break apart, and it'll actually soak up some of that marrow and kind of like the juices and the fat and all.
That makes sense.
Is the only thing I would change. But I would highly, if you're thinking of trying bone marrow, I personally would try it here. I would potentially get it again.
Okay.
I do. It is one of those things. I don't know. I think it's just a neat thing to try as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I probably would do it again. All right, next we're going to go over to France. We did not eat here this year, but in the past we've gotten the creme de brie in petite pain, which is a warm, creamy brie in a house-made bread bowl for $8.50.
Mm-hmm.
We always really like this.
Always good.
It's brie fondue.
Yep.
And it's a tiny little bowl.
Yep.
And at first, if you want, you can, dip the top in and eat it. And then you just break apart the bread bowl. It's not a soup. You don't just eat it with a spoon.
But you can.
You could if you wanted to.
I think we did a little bit.
Nah. All right, let's move on to one we did eat at. Where did we go, Rhonda? And we did this.
We did this for the people.
I only stopped here and ordered all 3 items we did amongst us for you, our wonderful and fabulous listeners. Everybody yell it out. What is it?
Italy!
Yes, we did.
Woohoo!
We went ahead and got the arancini, which are fried risotto balls stuffed with braised beef and served with pomodoro sauce for $14. Come on, man. We got the ravioli alla bascoella, which is sweet sausage, ravioli, mushrooms, caramelized onions, and creamy Parmesan sauce. This is new this year for $13. And then we got the bomboloni, which is chocolate hazelnut Italian donuts with powdered sugar for $11.
I did not taste the donuts.
They were good.
Everybody
They were good.
did.
We all really liked them. Rachel had ordered them.
Right.
So let me try it. And I thought they were pretty good. I mean, chocolate hazelnut Italian donut with powdered sugar. That's what it is. And it was good. It was the donut was cooked well and all.
Good.
Had good flavor.
Good.
I think the arancini's, pretty good here.
Fine.
They're small, but smaller than golf ball size. You get about 4 of them. The sauce is good. The arancini's good. I just think $14 is really a lot for this compared to what I think most of the other dishes we've gone through have been extremely well priced.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, the ravioli. This is my true festival enemy year after year.
Yeah.
This is the best one we've had, but nothing's changed.
Yes.
I still think this is frozen ravioli and canned sauce. The insides are always They're not very full inside. The pasta
agree.
to filling ratio is always way off.
I agree.
Pasta's cooked fine. It's a little bit al dente. It's not bad.
Right.
And the filling is always just beaten to death.
Yeah.
And I understand, you don't want a filling with a bunch of chunks in it, like down to when you cook it and the texture, but these are always just like emulsified. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How's the flour?
Oh, no, I don't like flour. I don't like edible flowers. That was at this one? I thought that was Mexico for some reason. That was here? Yeah, that was.
Because you were like, you were going to eat it and you spit it out in the bushes.
Back to its rightful home. Because that's where I think they were playing a joke on me. To be honest,
everything is supposed to be edible in the dish. Right?
They're like, "Oh, here comes that Jeremy. He always talk about a ravioli. You say it's so bad, we give him a flour." Because you're not supposed to put something on a plate that isn't edible.
Right.
This wasn't edible.
Yes, it was. I think it was.
Usually, you don't have. I could taste like the bulb. You know what I mean? That part, like, isn't that what it's called? The bulb? Is that the base of it? Like the body of the flour? It was like crunchy. It tasted like eating a flour.
It was so funny.
10 out of 10. Do not recommend on that one. I mean, honestly, I'm going to say just skip by. You know what, man? If you're looking for Italian
food. Unless you
food.
want the donuts.
Yeah, the donut, again, the donuts weren't bad, but I don't think they're worth stopping. I think you can move on. And again, I don't understand.
At $11 though.
This booth continues to be outrageously expensive for what they're putting out. All right, let's head on to the Painted Panda. And we did the char siu pork bun, $10.75. Mm-hmm. You get two pork buns. Mm-hmm. We'd actually, at the point we were coming out, we ran into Scott and Michelle from the Main Street Mouse, so we were chatting for them a little while. So when I ended up taking a bite, the dish had cooled down, but I actually thought it was still really good. I want to go back and get one of these.
Pork was very good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pork was tender, flavorful. The bun actually was perfectly cooked, nice and soft.
Yep.
So I would recommend this again.
They did not have the General Tso's chicken.
No, they were
when
out
we were
actually. Yeah, good. I'm glad you brought that up.
We were going to get it,
Yeah.
but we did not because of unfortunate they were out of it.
But it was nice they had a cast member standing there before you entered that let you know so you didn't get in line. And no line was really bad on opening day. I mean, we saw a much bigger increase the next 2 days.
Yes, I agree.
There was one line that was pretty bad. We'll talk about that when we get to that booth. If you heard about it, it was a couple people in this one line.
Okay.
Looking to get a special purple little effer.
Oh.
The go-to drink here. This is highly recommended by Kat and Michael. They've told us about this. We've had it in the past. I am not kidding, and you can roll your eyes all you want. I think personally this is the best mixed cocktail on all of property.
Okay.
And this is the Sea Butterfly. It's a butterfly pea flower infused cocktail with vodka, light rum, lychee syrup, and magic boba pearls for $13.50.
And these boba pearls are chewy. They don't.
Yeah, they're not
they
the
don't
poppy
pop
ones
in your mouth like the Panda bubble tea, which Lacey got, which is always here every year, and I love how it is. It's classic milk tea with black and white bobas. And this is on non-alcoholic, obviously, for $7.75. And her Aunt Lucy got it for her, and it was super good. I tasted it. I always do. I enjoy those type of boba pearls, so I like that in the Sea Butterfly is the same.
Yes.
And this is very good. We shared it. There is a little flour in it that is very edible.
Yes.
And it's very good.
Yes.
I ate the flour.
I did not.
I will get this my own the next time we go, and then you can have yours. But the next time we go, it'll be, I think, with Kat and Michael.
Yeah, it'll be with Kat and Michael, so we'll get around to four, I'm guessing, if not more. Seriously, you can't even, unless you've ever had like lychee syrup or the actual like fruit, or you can't explain the flavor.
It's so good.
It is so good, but it's light, it's refreshing, it's exotic. The drink is beautiful because it's kind of layered and you get the purple on top. They make it right in front of you. What I love is that they are pouring right in front of you. You're watching them make the beverage. It's not like this is just some pre-mixed Atom machine type of thing. I love this. Again and again, we'll get it. We're going to go to Germany in the Pastoral Palette. And we got the red wine braised beef short rib with parsnip puree. Here's my parsnip puree. Broccolini, baby tomatoes, and aged balsamic for $8.25. We also got the wild boar cassoulet with duck confit, ham hock, and wild boar sausage, which is new this year for $9. I was mixing up this short rib dish with the beef Wellington as far as what it came with, the accoutrement, if you will. And I was thinking about the parsnip puree. I mean, this was really well cooked in the sense of perfectly cooked, extremely tender short rib, flaky like a pot roast, but tastes like short rib. Can we eat parsnips? I don't know.
So.
Are they? They're still a root vegetable that probably has carbs because we're kind of sticking away from those.
Have to look it up.
I prefer parsnip puree over mashed potatoes as far as festivals like this go. I'm not picking anything else over like your mashed potatoes because you make them amazing. But I'm saying it's something like this. I would much rather have a parsnip puree than a creamy mashed potato. It's just lighter. I think it actually has more flavor to it. Broccolini was good. Aged balsamic. I like this dish a lot. What did you think of the short rib?
Yes, this was fantastic. I feel like we should have talked about the other thing first.
Well, go into the wild boar.
I don't like, you know me. I like being positive.
Yeah.
I did not like the wild boar. I felt like it was
the overall consensus for people.
I felt like it was dry. But it was also hard because we were eating the red wine braised beef short rib with it, and it was that's the one to get. If you're coming to Pastora Palette, get that red wine braised beef. It is so good. If you're somebody who really likes wild boar, I mean, I don't know, because I really never think I've had it before. It's
definitely gamey.
Yeah, it was.
I think this actually helped by putting it into a sausage because it has other items. You're not just eating like a straight up wild boar.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. But I can definitely taste the gaminess, and I can understand why others did not care.
I didn't hate it, but I took one bite and I was
and
like,
that's
done.
How most people are.
Don't like it.
I think I had maybe one or two pieces of the sausage, and again, I thought it was a well done sausage, but it is a little bit dry. And yes, it definitely has that gaminess flavor where you're not eating just like a regular beef or anything like that. Pop Eats. Let's just talk real quick about two items we've had in the past. We did not have this weekend, but
only because it is the same line as the Figment popcorn bucket.
Correct.
And the first day, the line, people ended up waiting. Rachel only waited for 4 hours. She was amazing. Thank you, Rachel. Shout out. Love you, girl. But some people were waiting upwards of 6 hours for this bucket.
Yeah, by the second day, we were looking at hour or so.
Yep.
Third day, under an hour. And then I know Monday, there were people that waited 15, 20 minutes.
Yes.
It is 100% understandable for the groups on Friday, which included our lovely friend Rachel, to wait that amount. I think there's a lot of people go, man, if you just waited till Monday, there was no guarantee. Cast members and guests didn't know if they would last through Friday at all.
Correct.
And with this only running 5 weeks, and we know supply chain issues and things going on, there was no guarantee they were going to restock or come back. There just wasn't.
Right.
Now, if it wasn't like life or death in a sense for you to get one, then yes, I can see maybe going, let's see how it plays out.
Right.
But if you were like, look, I want to have this, and you know what? It's your time, it's your money. You see all these people on social, I can't believe somebody would wait 6 hours. Nobody forced you to wait 6 hours. If somebody wants to wait 6 hours and it makes them happy to get this bucket, let them wait 6 hours.
Right.
We won't talk about resellers.
Nope.
I'd rather talk about Bruno, honestly. But
we don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about resellers.
We don't talk about resellers.
That doesn't flow off the tongue as well.
No.
But there's certainly some of those.
Here's the hardest part. If I wanted this, which thank God we've already had the tomato soup with grilled cheese before,
which we absolutely love in years past.
We also had the sugar cookie with chocolate hazelnut filling, basically like a Pop Tart, but it is a pop art. So it's a modern design sugar cookie with chocolate hazelnut filling. We've had that too before. And again, it was great. Everything's good. Again, it's just sad because I would have loved to have had the tomato soup with grilled cheese again.
We're gonna have to wait till we go back because
we were
all at the same booth. I do think I do think that was a mistake on Disney's end. They knew how popular this was going to be. They wanted 6-hour lines. They wanted aerial shots from news and posts on social media showing how dang popular this thing is. But I do wish that they had set up a separate area for it. And even if they had said, you know what, there's almost like a Figment booth this year, or Pop Eats had turned into like a Figment booth. You know, there was, I don't know, a Figment cake or dessert. There was
cool.
You know what I mean? Just something like
cool.
that would have made this like fully Figment.
Yeah.
What was so cool, first of all, is to see all this love for Figment and people coming out. So many people online were dressed out in like Figment gear and shirts and dresses and all kinds of stuff, which I thought was really cool. But it's an adorable little bucket. I'm very thankful that we got one and that Rachel acquired one for us, because I do think otherwise Sunday I would have been getting in line knowing that they were still around.
Yes.
But again, there was no guarantee.
Right.
I can't wait to go back and do the tomato soup with bacon, apple, and brie grilled cheese, which is new this year. And we'll be able to do that next month.
Perfect.
Because everything will have died down. But,
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I think it will. I mean, we're a week out at that point.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to go to the Tangerine Cafe, the flavors of the Medina, which is in Morocco inside Tangerine Cafe, of course.
Yes.
They've taken down the booth that's usually out there and moved this inside. They have grilled kebabs. Either you can get lamb kefta or harissa chicken for $5.75. Then they have a stone-baked Moroccan bread with hummus, fig tapenade, and zoug dip, which is like a tzatziki, I guess, for $5. Weird thing is, neither of these, I don't know if this was some sort of last-minute decision by Disney to add these, because neither of these items are listed in the festival booklet.
Correct.
Which is strange. They list the carrots 3 ways and the house-made crispy almond phyllo pockets. But we got these two. What did you think of
I think Lucy did go and get the carrots.
The carrots? Yeah, she ended up getting them and
right?
enjoyed them.
And she did like them.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think of the lamb? Because we chose the lamb.
It was fantastic.
So good.
It was... These two things we did have in the stone-baked Moroccan bread was, I thought, fantastic. I'd get both of these again.
I would too.
They were just, made perfect.
Lamb was perfectly tender, moist, flavorful.
Yep.
You get that, I like a little bit spicy, but then you get the sauce on top to balance it out. The bread, they're wood firing it right in front of you, these little rounds of bread. The only thing I wish is that there were 2 of them, because again, the bread to dip ratio was a bit off.
That's
where we
true.
had a lot of leftover
Or you
dip.
could add
or you could add one for
$1 or something.
$1 or $2.
Yep.
So the bread, this dish is comparable to Sanaa's bread service only in the sense that they're both a bread service, but from 2 very different types of cuisine, right?
Yeah.
A Mediterranean style, Moroccan style, and more of a, African inspired style.
Right.
But this bread from Morocco, if you just simply walked up and said, which bread would you like? Actually, which would you like? Would you like Sanaa's bread service with the naan, or would you like this Moroccan bread one? I'd pick the Moroccan one.
What?
Based on that bread. I love the naan over at Sanaa. But man, this bread was it was nice and fluffy on the inside. The outside had a really good crisp and crunch to it. Had that little bit of like wood-fired flavor. This is another one of those that I want to get again. I want to go multiple times when we go next month. So day 1, we can hit stuff we missed. And day 2, we just do our favorites.
Okay.
That might be what we end up doing.
Sounds good to me.
Next, we are going to move on to the brand new Encanto-inspired Vibrante and Vivito. I wish Logan was here to pronounce these words because he's very good at that. We have a house-made chorizo and potato empanada with turmeric aioli and annatto aioli. This is part of the wonderful walk of colorful cuisine. This is new, of course, for $6.50. There's a spicy oaca soup with guajillo and arbol chili spiced chicken, potato, avocado, corn, and creme fraiche. This is new, of course, for $6.25. And then finally, we have a passion fruit mousse with dragon fruit jam for $5. And then the girls got a coconut and passion fruit smoothie, which is non-alcoholic, for $4.75. House-made chorizo, and you know what? Let's start with the soup. Because we got this, the third day we went back?
When it was pretty cold.
Yeah, and it was pretty cold, and we had just missed it and got it. What did you think of the soup?
I loved it.
I thought it was very good.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was spicy, which was great, but you've got the creme fraiche in there. You got little potatoes. I loved the avocado in it. That was fantastic. The little pieces of chicken. Now, I will say, I was fine with this, but
This is gonna be the same
there's
thing I'm gonna talk about.
the corn,
Yeah.
and it's a little ear of corn, about 1 to
Half a
3
cob, probably.
inches, long, and it's just sitting in your soup.
Yeah.
But I really actually enjoyed it on the cob, and where it wasn't just in the soup and you pulled it out and it's dripping a little bit, and that eating that, I actually, if it's cold, I would absolutely get this soup again.
Oh, this will warm you up.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was my same thoughts on the corn, because when you're presented it, you in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, you put half a corn on the cob in there for presentation. You know,
Yeah.
that's the only reason.
Because it is just
And
a
it's-
soup.
but it's
and
not. Because the cob is sitting there soaking up all that delicious flavor. And my only downside is it's very messy to eat. Like you said, you go to bite into the corn and all the soup is just dripping down your face.
Yeah, so get some napkins.
Yeah, definitely have napkins ready. Maybe tuck one in your shirt, you know, so you don't mess it up. Don't wear white. I don't know. Yeah, great balance of heat and spice with the creme fraiche and the avocado. Gave it a nice smoothness and all. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. And it wasn't something that I expected to be so impressed by.
Yeah.
Passion fruit mousse. Here's actually what I would do. I would make sure that you get the passion fruit mousse with the dragon fruit jam the same time you get the soup, because it is going to cool you down after you eat the soup.
That would be good.
This was delicious too.
Yep. I don't think I got a taste with the dragon fruit because it was like made around it.
Yeah, it was
So
really hiding right in the center.
It was cool. It was neat looking. It was beautiful.
This just speaks just the flavors of, in general to me, Caribbean, Mexican flavors, Colombian, you know, all of those types of flavors, because it is so fresh and it's so light and it's so tropical that I would get this again as well. And it had a nice little like white chocolate medallion sticking in the top that was Encanto themed.
Yep.
So just, again, get it with the soup because it'll cool you down after. All right, let's talk about the house-made chorizo and potato empanada. We ordered
let's talk
3
about
times over the course of 3 days.
Let's talk about it like this. How many times did we order it?
3 times.
Yes.
And we ordered it once every single day.
Yes.
It
is. It's not. This is the one thing that I will say. It is not like gorgeous when like you pick it up, because it's just an empanada with a.
Well, they try to dress it up with the little drizzles of the aioli.
I just started to say they
it's
put
not
the
bad looking.
aioli over it, but it is a plump, full plate. Like, I don't know if they put a smaller plate or the empanada is actually just bigger, but it is outstanding. The girls loved it.
Yes.
Jeremy loved it.
I was I didn't read it. Well, I didn't read the description at first. I just knew it was an empanada. And you guys brought it back because Caleb and I went to grab a table, and the turmeric aioli looks like a whole grain mustard.
Oh, it does.
On top. So
Yes, it
I'm
does.
like, I'm going to need you guys to try this.
Yeah.
First of all, if you don't like the flavor of turmeric, do not get this because it is very turmeric-y, which I enjoy. I love the flavor of turmeric.
Okay, yeah.
But again, the annatto aioli balances it off as a little bit of a cooler sauce. But when you say this thing is plump, I've not seen a festival food filled with this much goodness yet.
Yeah, it was good.
Big chunks of potato, nice ground chorizo, popping with flavor. I mean, if you remember going back to International Festival of the Holidays at the American booth when the girls got a hold of that turkey dish.
Oh, yeah, that was, yeah.
I mean, this is one where at the end of this empanada the first day, I'm like, I'm not going to even try and get enough. They're pulling the plate away from you, you poor thing, who's live streaming this. I'm finally like, girls, you got to give your mom some. I think you took one bite.
I got one bite.
And they yanked the plate back from you and were digging in.
Yep. I barely got a good bite. And then it was funny because I remember, so we ordered it 3 times, right?
Yeah.
And the last time Jeremy was like, all right, I am ordering one for myself and nobody else is eating it.
If anybody wants some, you get your own.
I think you did give me a bite, and that's when I actually got a very good bite because I will say it's plump and it's full of it. But, you know, an empanada, the way it's made, you're going to have, depending on if you get the end, or you're not going to get a really good bite until you're really in that middle part for sure. And that's where I do feel like that's when I finally got a really good bite, and I was like, "Wow, it really."
See, I didn't
good.
find that the case here. Maybe the
Well, maybe because the
ends
girls
were
just
it.
ate the rest of it. I just didn't get a good bite my first bite.
Okay, but with what you're saying, you're very true on the fact that a lot of times you get something like any sort of dough or a pastry that's filled with a filling, you can often get a lot of extra dough or pastry, and I didn't find that here.
Yeah.
Because you're right about that. Sometimes there's just too much, and this thing was not that way.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody ordered multiple. Lucy and Caleb ended up getting another one.
Right.
And I will go back on the day we go back on February 11th. We will try booths we didn't get to try and food we didn't get to try, but I'll get this again every day that we're there. I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
That's how good it was. Girls love the coconut and passion fruit smoothie. Very light.
Yeah.
I thought it had much more of a passion fruit than coconut flavor,
Okay.
which is good because we're not a very coconutty
Correct.
family.
I did not taste it.
We're a nutty family. We're not really coconutty. Then, of course, that wraps up our standard booths. But there are
goodness.
more Festival of the Arts food offerings, such as the funnel cakes at American Adventure, which I just had to get for my sweet girl, Lacey.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, this is a cherry blossom funnel cake. It is chocolate chip funnel cake topped with cherry ice cream, rainbow whipped cream, chocolate chips, and a maraschino cherry. This is new this year.
Was it good?
It was so good. The cherry blossom ice cream
Where
was
was I?
delicious.
I didn't taste it.
I don't know where you guys were, but I got it for her. And what I love about the festival offerings is that this is a much smaller portion.
Yeah.
I love a funnel cake, but it's one of
too
those.
big.
They're just huge,
Yeah.
you know, and it's sometimes you almost never finish one.
Right.
But this was delicious. I love the hot funnel cake with the cold ice cream, a very light cherry flavor. I would recommend this.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at each of the festival, or at each of the Joffrey booths, you're going to have some different festival beverages there with and without booze. Which one are you eyeballing?
I want to go back, and I want the Rainbow Dreams cold brew. It's a sweet and creamy cold cream topped with whipped cream and colorful marshmallow crunch. I think it's kind of like, what's it called?
Like a birthday cake style?
No. Gosh, they're all similar. Never mind.
They all sound good.
I think it was the sweet cream cold brew topped with whipped cream and fruity cereal. Like a Lucky Charms.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds interesting. I think all of them would be good for breakfast next time. Because they're all, I mean, obviously they're Joffrey's, they're all coffee based, so they sound pretty good
and
there.
You can actually put, these are all non-alcoholic but eligible with booze.
Yes, correct. Of course, for a charge.
Yeah.
Finally, at the Refreshment Outpost, there is a plant-based bratwurst with spicy turmeric aioli, coffee, barbecue, jackfruit, and slaw. This is all plant-based. I'd be interested in a bite of that, but I don't know if I want to devote an entire bratwurst to that one. What I really want to get next time, and Touring Plans said was very good at Refreshment Port, is a gnocchi poutine with red wine braised beef, cheese curd, basils, and burrata. This is new this year for $9.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
According to our Canadian friends, especially Lisa reached out to me. This is not poutine. Poutine, she claims, must have fries, must have gravy, must have cheese curd. Everything else is loaded fries. This would be a loaded pasta, but gnocchi's made with potato. So I like the play that they're going with. Okay. And maybe this counts because it does have like a beef kind of red wine beef gravy to it, and it does have cheese curds. So does it count? Maybe, Lisa, let us know. Any other Canadian friends, let us know.
I want the blood orange Cosmo.
Yeah, that sounds good. Vodka with blood orange, cranberry, and lime is new this year. All right, we've got 5 awards to give away. We're each going to give out an award for each of these categories. We do not know who has picked what. The same item could win multiple awards.
Okay.
Or whatever.
What is it winning, by the way?
It is winning our admiration, basically. Okay. So if there's anything else that food has ever wanted, what would it want more than our admiration? All right, best dish of the Festival of the Arts that we had goes to...
You go first.
Oh, the empanada.
Okay.
Yeah, empanada, best dish. Easily. And we're talking best tasting dish.
I
best,
know, and I'm trying to think, right, what I would, and that's where I was just like, well, I was going to say the key lime. Okay. But I think I want to take that back, and it's something that I would just go and eat over and over. And
sure.
I think
what would you pick? I mean, we ate the empanada 3 days in a row. Is that not making your...
But I didn't eat it like y'all did, and I wasn't like... So I don't want to say it's making my list, I guess I could say America. That was really good. I didn't get, here's the sad part for me. I didn't get a dish myself that.
So you don't have the best dish?
The risotto.
Okay, risotto is your best dish award.
I think so,
okay.
Unfortunately.
Worst dish. Say it together. The wild boar.
The wild boar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, nothing against the wild boar. I just don't think it was for us.
Yep.
Most interesting dish.
The bone marrow for me.
Okay. I think that's a great pick. I think the only reason I didn't go with it is because I have had it before and I know what it is. I have to go with the deconstructed French onion soup.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that is
that
just,
makes
I
sense.
would, if you said, give me a list of things you would never imagine being deconstructed, that would be very much at the top of my list. And I thought it was just absolutely genius. Most beautiful dish. That's where I'm going to go key lime pie. I thought it was the best looking dish, most artful dish, maybe we could call it by the looks of it.
And that's where I think I was going to move it down to. But honestly, I think I'd go back up to the Deca Delights and get because it had gold shavings, the chocolate.
That was very pretty.
I think it was the chocolate caramel one.
Yeah.
The number one. That was just, it had gold flakes on it. I mean, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go with that one.
Okay.
Because I would get that one again too, which.
Yeah, I think in this grand scheme of things, the desserts just reign supreme,
yeah.
obviously, as far as art, because of the colors. And they can do so much with colors. Got a white chocolate? Make it any color I want.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, all right, best overall booth award for Rhonda.
I'm going to say Encanto.
I could easily say the Encanto booth. If the BLT is done to the level that I know it can be done to, then I think deconstructed dish wins hand down. Because you have the key lime pie, you have the BLT, and you've got this French onion soup.
Yeah.
Just as long as you get that perfect pork belly and egg are the two items that can sometimes make or break that dish, I just think deconstructed dish is doing it overall.
And I kind of thought
but the
so
Encanto
too,
booth
but
completely
the Encanto
too.
booth, we went back
It came out of nowhere
many
for
times.
us.
And I once we got the soup, I was super excited about that, and it was super good.
Yeah.
Again, like I didn't get much of the passion fruit, but I mean that was good. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with Encanto.
Okay. I think that's fair. Well, food and booths, you are very, very welcome. Don't let it go to your head. Okay. These awards actually do mean nothing at all in the grand scheme of things. So, next episode, and we were actually debating if we were going to split this into two, but we'll keep it as one episode, I think, just to get it all out. Next episode on Friday, we are going to talk about our stay at Fairfield Inn and Suites at Flamingo Crossing, and then we're going to give you some dining updates on Enchanted Rose, Citricos, and the Boathouse, and we're going to have some special guests kind of call in a sense and offer their opinions as well, because we did a lot of wonderful dining with some wonderful people. So that is going to wrap up our Festival of the Arts review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Cannot wait to hear what everyone else thinks. We can't wait to get back next month with Pat and Michael. Eat a whole lot more. We get to enjoy the Super Bowl with them for the first time at Disney next month. That's going to be super exciting.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for hanging in there, as obviously this episode is going out Wednesday afternoon. We got home Monday morning. Rhonda had to immediately go work 9 hours, worked 12 hours on Tuesday. We looked at recording this morning, and I had to finish up some work for a client. So we kind of, had to get something out to you, but it is a day late. I'll be back on track next week with our normal Tuesday to Friday. So if you want those episodes, hit subscribe. As long as you're out there subscribing, we would absolutely love it and be so thankful if you leave us a rating and review.
Because it'll help our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.